Yes, guys, the start of another week, the start of another audio. I'm sure many of you have often asked yourself, what is the biggest security threat to Ireland currently? Well, what's to be revealed in this audio will you bring you right up to date. If Donald Trump is to proceed, as his rhetoric suggests, then it seems his intention to end the war of Russian aggression on Ukraine will see the preservation of the battle lines as they currently stand. That means Russia will hold the territory it has illegally seized, including Crimea and large tracts of the Donbass region. Ukraine might accept this as long as the international community recognises the territory as being illegally Russian occupied. However, if Ukraine is not allowed to join NATO, something the US and Russia agree on, how will Ukraine's freedom be guaranteed in the future? Possibly by some sort of peacekeeping force. This is where it gets tricky for Ireland. It may come to pass that some European neutrals might be asked to contribute to this force. But Taoiseach Micheál Martin has already said Ireland would not take part in a deterrent force. So imagine the likelihood of a force with a peacekeeping mandate that is lightly armed and with limited to zero enforcement powers, not unlike what exists in Lebanon at the moment. And you all know what Lebanon is like the last couple of years. Last lot of years. Such a force would be a disaster for the Ukrainians, as it would provide absolutely no real security against Russian incursions. The fear would be that in a few years' time, a resurgent Russia would simply roll through the UN lines of lightly armed and uncoordinated troops and continue all the way to Kyiv. In such a scenario, for Ireland to participate as a token or lone European presence in a neutral peacekeeping force could be seen as giving Russia legitimacy, or at worst betraying Ukraine and the UK and the EU. Betraying Ukraine and the EU. A bad peace deal at any cost could lead to war in Europe. At this point, it should be stated that the biggest threat Ireland has to guard against is not so much a physical threat, but it's a political one. If Ireland take the wrong steps as outlined, or if to continue to abdicate our security responsibilities to our own people and the critical undersea infrastructure that is crucial to a variety of international partners, then Ireland risks political isolation both within and outside of the EU. While spending money on defence material is essential as outlined in the government's defence policy review of last year, so too is developing and testing Ireland's strategic choices. Are Ireland investing in any means to give us strategies to guide us in uncertain times and to test our decisions? The Institute for International and European Affairs is in the process of preparing a paper outlining the benefits to Ireland of pursuing a mosaic approach to Ireland's neutrality. That is developing it as a tool to limit Ireland being drawn into conflict, but also to give Ireland the flexibility to prepare for defence and coordinate with like-minded partners without being drawn into signing mutual defence pacts. This kind of approach can give Ireland the agility, the need to pursue a realistic defence strategy, fit for purpose, and stay within the values-based political policies that have evolved over the years. However, Ireland need to invest in support for their strategic decision-making capacity. There is no point in putting all Ireland's faith in procurement of additional equipment like military-grade radar or additional Navy vessels if Ireland do not have a clear and flexible strategy on how to use them and prepare for coordination with our neighbours and partners. Doing this and sharing knowledge and plans do not bind Ireland to the courses of action of others, but can act as a deterrent to those who would see Ireland's singular stance as isolationism and a provocative weakness to further undermine. If there's one thing Ireland has learned in the last few days, it's that the geopolitical world is moving fast, and Ireland need to be agile in their thinking and mobile in the use of defence assets. Upping the ante in Ireland's strategic thinking, putting it to the test with regular crisis simulation, and bringing in external expertise to prevent the groupthink that pervades all government bodies should now be an important consideration. And that's a piece of an article that's extracted from an article written by a security and defence analyst and currently sits on the Security and Defence Working Group of the Institute for International and European Affairs, otherwise known as IIEA in capital letters. Okay guys, that's just a brief audio on Ireland's threat to security. Okay guys, enjoy your day.